Yo, what's going on, man? Live a story worth retelling. You feel me? This is where, like, I'm gonna be real with you. Honestly, like, this is gonna be dope because first the segment is gonna be really good, and I see that there's some of you that still went on to the next segment. I know the ones who stood with me and just came on to the next segment, and I respect you and I like you for that. But listen, like, share, subscribe, comment. I need y'all. Anyway, like I just spoke in my last segment. This segment, I'm going to be talking about my Godfather. I kind of really shared a lot in the intro to my God/adopted mom, but my Godfather/adopted father, I'm going to really talk about him because I'm going to really be real on what he's done for me. Now, my Godfather is actually his mom is Italian and his father is Dominican, and actually taught me how to be a man. And I'm gonna just be real. Like, he taught me how to be a man. And when I say taught me how to be a man, he actually taught me what it means to be responsible. He taught me what it means to take responsibility. He taught me what it means to just never quit, never look for a corner to cut, never look for a thing. And again, I want to be clear on something, right? Because I don't want to offend people, right? I want to talk about something, right? There are people out there that may think that you told me the same message that my Godfather told me /Godfather. Or they may be people that think, let me tell you this, I'm gonna be real with you, right? I'm gonna be real with you. I can go tell somebody that they need to come to me, right? Today. So we'll just use a random name, a guy named Mike. Hey, you could come to Jesus, give Jesus to your Lord, give Jesus your heart. Come on to Jesus right now, accept Jesus as Lord and Savior. It may be powerful. Is that of God? Yes. Is that what God would want me to say? Of course. But was it meant for me to be the vessel that have that person activate, or what's inside of them, what's bought in them, what's indebted or encrypted in you from when you're just opening the womb, or when you're just first coming about, right? I may not trigger that, or God may not have that moment where the doors is open and the gates of your heart's open, and I trigger what's in your soul to say yes to the Lord. I may not be the person that may not be my assignment, but the next person could be able to do that, and that's their assignment. And boom, they come over to Jesus. I'm so content with that. So I just want to put that out there. So I'm going to get back to my Godfather, because the reason why I really put that disclaimer out there is because I want people to understand that my Godfather was assigned to do the things he did in my life. There's a lot of people that get offended by the things that they're not assigned to do and they participate in it. And another example I can give, there's people that sing, right? Just because you could sing, that doesn't mean you're called to be an artist, right? Just because you can preach, that doesn't mean you're called to be a preacher. And you see where I'm going with this, so that's what I want to put out there. So back to my Godfather, the wonderful person he's been to me, right? My Godfather, when my Godfather first got the wave of who I was, and when he first met me, I met this guy at 9 years old. I met this guy at 9 years old. I'm here now in my 30s, still looking at that guy as my father. Whenever I go to Boston, I gotta hang out with him. Before it was Boston, when he was living in Florida, I was in Florida all the time. I mean, so I say this, and I say this with an open heart, right? There are people sent to your life to help you change and be better. And like I said about my mom, right? Shelly Hartman. I don't know where I'll be if Marcos Carl comes into my life with his wife and his children. I don't know where I'll be because they helped me shape so much. They changed the trajectory of who I was going to become. Because if I'm real with you in my Christian faith, right? I don't even think I stay alive to even know who Jesus is. The route I was running, right? The journey I was taking, the route I was running. And I only say route because, I used to be a cross-country runner. So you always want to know what route, but the route or the course or the trail I was taking. This is truth, honest to God. I didn't know if I was going to make it past 21. When I actually turned 21 and I saw myself when I actually turned 21 and I'm in Boston, I'm just finishing up a year semester or finishing up a year out of college. I still was in shock. It's like, dang, that's anybody could good thing. Anybody could go to college and then go back home and end up being killed. That wasn't my story. God preserved me. God had me. God took care of me. God put me in a position to where here I am now, and I meet Marcos Carl. And Marcos Carl did so much for me, to where not only has my life changed for the better. So let's start with the first thing. Marcos Carl, me and him did a David Ramsey course. And half of these events he don't be remembering, but he just cares about me so much that he poured into me anything he could do, right? So the first thing we did was we went ahead and we got involved with this course single with this financial literacy course that by David Ramsey. And I remember he's the reason why I put money in envelopes. He's the reason why I do what I do. He's the reason why I do things the way I do it, because he taught me how to be responsible, even when I didn't know how to be responsible. And I'm telling you, I have done some irresponsible things in my life. I've blown through money. I have bought sneakers instead of paying a bill. You know what I mean? I have not paid people back on time. I borrow money and I get my money back, and instead of paying the person back, I take an extra period of time to pay them back. I mean, it just so many things that incorporated me and my Godfather to have to now do these literacy and financial freedom classes that actually turned out good for me, because here I am, I'm married, I take care of my business, I provide for my wife, and I am just after God's own heart. And literally, that's my Godfather in a nutshell. My Godfather don't have a lot of friends. Everybody doesn't like him. Everybody is not cool with him. But he's content with who God wrote him to be and who God died for, right? When it comes to him. Now, for me, I look at him as an example every day, because there's so many people that have nothing but negative things to say about my Godfather, in the sense of like, they don't know why he's so well off. They don't understand why he's such in a good place. They don't understand why, his wife is so dope and he has such good children. And for me, I think, even when I was 9 and me and my mother used to fuss, he was the one that made sure me and my mom wouldn't fight. He was the one that would talk to my mother and then talk to me. And I mean, there's a lot of times where I thought I wanted to give up, and he'll be transparent on what he got going on. And honestly, when I hear how much of things he's going through, I'm going through too, vice versa, it's always made me understand that that Jesus is Lord and Jesus is with everybody that choose to believe. And my Godfather's biggest thing is do the best you can. That's his biggest slogan. And the reason why he says do the best you can is because his thing is Jesus doesn't require us to be perfect. Jesus requires to give us his best. And that's his theory and that's his model. Ever since going to church, because his mother is in ministry, and his thing is do the best you can and do the right thing when no one's looking. The reason why he loves those two slogans, do the best you can, because God knows the heart. Do the right thing do the right thing when nobody's looking. He's big on integrity. And my Godfather really had an instrument part in when you get married, because actually I used to ask him all the time, why are you married? Why did you get married? Why, you know? And he would literally tell me all the reasons why he got married. And they were all great reasons. They were all reasons that made sense, that even confirm my decision to want to be married. Because I'll tell you this, right? I'm in my 30s. At 11 years old, I knew I wanted to be married. I just knew. And a lot of that came because of my Godfather. That was his influence. And my Godfather got influence. So when he came and said, yeah, marriage is the only way. You know, this is what's this, and this was, and I mean, literally broke down the Bible to a point where I will never forget his way of teaching. And I know from my mom seeing me interact with a man that's not trying to make a pass at her, or that's not interacting with me just to go try to make a pass at her, who actually looks at my mom as a sister in Christ. That was such legendary for our family, because here we are, we have a man who is intentional about all the things he do. He even bought my mother flowers one time also to get well with stuff. You know? My dad is my Godfather, who I look at as my dad more than my dad, is somebody that I would always look up to. He has 2 healthy children that are grown and they're doing great things in society. My god sister Sophia just graduated Yale and was playing lacrosse, and you know that's one of the things that I get to bond my sister with, because I played lacrosse in high school. There'll be nights I call my Godfather. I'm like, you know, I just slipped up again. I just, me and another girl just hooked up, and we in the bed right now. And my Godfather would be like, do you want that to be your legacy? And would it be, you need to get right with Jesus. The Lord's coming back. Father, he didn't do any of that. It was literally, Sydney, do you want to be better? I promise you, when you find that one, all this stuff you're doing, you're not going to do. And I tell you, the man was so important. It's to the point where, like, I look back and I say, everything my Godfather ever said to me was right. There was one time I went out in Texas. I was in a jam. At this point, I'm selling cars, and I'm in college. I'm selling cars. I'm going to class in the day, selling cars in the evening, sometimes late in the night. And I never forget, a dude, right, had robbed me for I think $1,500. And I remember I called him. Somebody stuck me up, so I called him and I said, yo, I'm chasing after this guy. He stuck me up for $1,500, and I'm gonna take his life now. Godfather pleaded with me and said, Sydney, drive yourself to your house. And I never forget, the next day, I argued with him. I was talking to him. I was telling him why I felt like he dismissed me. And at the time, this is PayPal. PayPal was the big thing at the time. There was no Cash App. There was no Zelle. There was no Quick Pay. There was none of that. And I looked at my Apple Pay, and I looked right there. $1,500 that was taken away from me. He gave it to me, and he even looked at me and said, "You don't know who we're gonna run into later on. You don't know who you're gonna run into tomorrow, but just understand that to handle the things like you used to handle it is not of God. And my godfather, a friend of mine named Lee Shepherd, and my wife are the only three people that hold me accountable and don't tell me what I want to hear. And I respect it. That's why they have the seats at the table that they have in my life. Because they literally tried to, people have literally tried to spread the wrong narrative about me, spread negative rumors about me, negative things about me. And my godfather has always kept this thing of, that's my son. So you could go to my godfather right now and say a bad thing about me, and he would literally respond to you and be like, okay, cool, that's my son. So, and he even, told Will at my wedding, take good care of my boy. This is my son. So I was recently up in Massachusetts. Went to Massachusetts for this alumni game. When I say alumni game, the men's basketball team was playing. And they're playing for a seed in the playoffs. And then they just turned the basketball game, because my whole college, basketball is a whole event, like, right? So you go to a basketball game, it's live. And if you went, when I went there, I was lit. We was lit. I was on that court, I was turning up. I was on Jackie and Harlem Shaking, doing everything to distract the other team, calling out to the players. I was doing all that. And everybody's response was, yo, you play soccer, how you got all this energy? Because I was on at ENC, I was in college, I did play soccer and I did cross country. And I never forget, at one of the basketball games, I just getting crazy, whatever. And then one of a faculty member, he was a chaplain at the time, he was in the court for Fierce. You're better than that, go sit down. I went and sat down. But I say this to say, every time I'm in Boston, me and my godfather goes checks out East University College. If they got a game, we'll stay for a little bit, talk to people, catch up, and dip. And I do all the things I wish I could do with a father, with this man. Every birthday all my life, he's always cash out. He didn't have to. I'm grown now. My godfather, I believe, is not just a swimmer. Like, he's not just a person who's like filled the sea, but he embraced the role and he took it head on. And I know my mother was happy with that. I know my mother was content with that. And one of the reasons why my mother didn't fight the last time she was in the hospital, last time she was in the ICU, because she knew I'll be in their hands. So, Marcos, you've always been there for me. I love you. I just wanted to take the time out to put you on my channel, you and Shelly on my channel, because you guys have taken care of me. You guys still do take care of me, and I'm nothing to actually to ask for privileges from you as a parent. It's been an honor to call you and get insight from you. It's been an honor to know what I can be better in. And at the end of the day, I love you, Marcos. And I want, and I bring this up to the channel. I want to get the channel right. I want to talk to the channel. The reason why I said that disclaimer out there and I put that, it sounded like a certain amount of video. My godfather has funded my apartment in the Bronx. When I was living in the Bronx, my godfather went ahead and helped me out with my current space. My godfather has come to my wedding and have such the craziest time. And he's always funny because he leaves early. My godfather's a leave early guy. He'll come early, leave early. And I'm so happy that he's been a part of my life, and I can call him Dad. So Dad, this segment's for you. For those of you who are watching, I'm not rambling, but I'm just expressing what he's done for me. And if I can be here for 6 hours, but and not come for air. But I need you to understand that my father filled the gap in a measure that I can never even look at. He filled the gap where my biological father was short. And, that's hard shoes to fill. Listen, y'all. I'm about to go to the next segment. The next segment is a surprise. Y'all should come to the next segment, honestly. Like, share, subscribe, comment, come through. Pull up. But my father is a person that I look at that God sent to keep me. So with that being said, live a story worth retelling, y'all. We out.